I have written and emailed several people about this. I have been seeking answers or an explanation or even a wild guess since 2006, and I never hear anything. I thought maybe you may find some interest in this story. One afternoon in the summer of 2000, as I was cleaning the inside of my M1 tank after returning from the field, I received a phone call from my wife, now ex. She sounded a bit rattled and nervous. The first thing she asked me was where I was and what I was doing. I told her that I was working on my tank in the motor pool. She started to sound frustrated and told me to stop messing with her and again asked me where I was and what I was doing. I again told her exactly where I was and what I was doing. Because we did not yet have the technology and cell phones that we do today, I had her talk to the gunner on my tank. After he vouched for me, I asked her what was wrong because she was obviously shaken, and she is not one who gets shaken very easily. She told me that she was in the living room of our house. She had been cleaning house that day, was just about done. As she was fixing to finish up, she said she saw me standing in the kitchen. And then I was suddenly gone. At that, I tore off my maintenance coveralls, told my first-line supervisor that I had an emergency at home, and hauled ass to my house thinking that someone was in my home with my family. Once I got home, I found my wife sitting in the living room on the couch. All my kids were taking naps. She had this look on her face as if she was trying to figure out a difficult puzzle or trying to process some strange information that she just heard. I asked her to tell me exactly what happened. As stated, she was just finishing up some house cleaning. As she was standing in the living room, she looked up for a quick second and saw me standing in the kitchen. At first, she didn't pay any mind to it as something out of the ordinary. I lived there, it was my home, I had a key. Why would I not be in my house? But then just as soon as she looked down within that split second, she remembered that I was at work and was not normally home at that time. She didn't remember me coming in, and she didn't remember hearing my loud pickup pull up in the drive. She also felt that something was not normal but couldn't put a name to what she felt. So she immediately looked back at me, and saw that I was wearing my maintenance coveralls outside of the motor pool, something even she knew was against Army regulations, and knew that I would never wear those out of the motor pool. She also noticed this blank stare on my face. She said I stared at her with a slightly gaped open mouth and my eyes were wide open and never blinked. She said I held direct eye contact for a few seconds before I turned to walk into my boys' bedroom where at that time they were taking a nap. She was frozen with fear and was unable to immediately follow me. When she was finally able to move, she ran to my boys' room and found